Yo guys, Theo here on Common Sense, reporting week 7 from my bulk using Turkesterone. I pretty much have my verdict on Turkesterone ready, and I'll obviously make some kind of summary video about that when this bulk is over, but I'll share that verdict at the end of this video after having gone through all the training progress. So it's going well, but now is the point in the program and bulk that I have to reconsider, or not reconsider, but change some things around. Because you can't just, when you do, as I've done now, simple 5 sets of 5 and pushing the weight up, you can't expect to just progress that forever, at least when you're kind of advanced like I am. So it's expected to hit the wall at some point. And there are many ways you could change your approach, and I'm going to share how I've done it. So first of all, I hit 5 sets of 5 at 140 kilos on my Deadlift Row. Finally, you know, the magic 3 plates per side. And I think I could keep pushing the weight on this exercise, but I'm going to change it for now. I've enjoyed it, but I just want to change it to something more, well, not isolated, but this is of course the purpose of this exercise, is to use the momentum from my strong lower body. I use the momentum when I pull it up and overload the upper back, and also in just working the erector muscle, the spinal muscle, some when I can't do as heavy deadlifts as I would have wanted because of my hamstring injury. So it served me well, this exercise, but I think I'm changing it. They have a T-bar row in the gym I train out. I would have loved if they had the chest supported one, because you can really eliminate the lower back. Which mine tends to be kind of overactive, but getting some lower back, I'm just gonna have to be smart with other exercises and it'll be fine. And so I'm gonna do the standing T-bar row. Probably, I've never tried doing so low reps as 5, and it might be difficult to get in position, but that's what I'm planning right now anyway. So on Monday, I tried my front squat shirt for the first time. It works, like it has rubber here to keep the bar more in place. But I was still, the weights are catching up to me. I hit 3 sets of 5 at 125 kilos. But after that, I just felt that my upper back was fatiguing. You know, that's a problem too I run into now, that especially with the deadlift row stuff, my upper back, will be involved in the front squat, is of course fatigued from the day before. So, you know, maybe I would have to consider changing the order of the workouts or something, having done like a push workout before a front squat day instead or something, but we'll see. I think for now, because what I did for the two last sets is that I went down to 110 kilos and did past reps, but as to grasp past reps, I didn't fail any of those sets, but that's what I did. My hamstring and left hip injury, it's not just the hamstring, it's also mainly, except the hamstring, it's the adductor, but a little bit of the hip flexors too, that it's just off. And so I'm kind of limited in what I can do. Like 2-legged exercises work fine, but as soon as this leg, the left leg, has to be stable on its own in like a Bulgarian split squat that I had at the start of this program, just doesn't work. It hurts too much. On the front squat day, I'm considering just doing a bunch of isolated exercises, mainly to, like, so the front squat is the big stimulus, but the other exercises are more about just recovering. It's going in the right direction for sure, by the way. It's just took me a long time to find the cure for it all. So on Tuesday, push day, I had an incline bench, which, it's been the most unexpected thing of this bulk, that it's progressed so well. Just 5 by 5 from 75 that I started, but immediately in the same workout went up to 77.5. I could just progress 5 by 5 up to 90 kilos, but when I came to 92.5, couldn't get 5 reps even on the first set. So time to reconsider. And so you could change around sets and reps, but since I've decided that I'm trying out the 5 by 5 a lot, this bulk, because I've never really programmed that way for myself much before, what I decided to do is lower the weight and do past reps. I've done, I never tried to do an exaggerated bounce or something, but touch and go reps. And of course it will still bounce a little bit. So now I went down to 80 kilos and did bottom passes. It wasn't all that difficult, but it's always when you exactly as how I started on a lower weight to be able to progress on exercises at the start of the bulk, I do the same now that I start on a weight where I'm sure I'll be able to add weight to the bar next workout. So if now the goal then is to get back to, if I can get back to 90 kilos with pause reps, then that's great progress. And if I then try touch and go reps again, I'll be able to do it at higher than 90. I don't think there's too much. Oh, the behind the neck shoulder press. It just felt great. That work. I can tell you how I changed the approach. I guess in general, on that workout, for instance, I also lowered the dumbbell, or I didn't even lower the weight on the dumbbells. I took 35 kilo dumbbells. I've been up to 36. When I've been on the upper floor, they don't have 35. But what I've done is that I never do like very short range of motion, but I might sometimes sacrifice just a tiny bit range of motion for weight. But now, so now I used kind of the same weight, but I lowered the reps because I did stricter form. I turn the dumbbells out like that so I can go really deep, get a good stretch. And because it takes some time to get down in the stretch, it's kind of a pseudo pause. You end up pausing all of a sudden. So I did that for 8 reps. Great feeling when you've done this for so long. Just pushing weights really. And I just see that Bald Omni-Man mentioned me in his story on Instagram. Wow, a senpai noticed me. Can't call, I think he's younger than me. Can't call a younger guy senpai, right? But yeah, I'm joking anyway. I did a behind the neck shoulder press, which feeling better and better. 3 sets of 8 at 50 kilos. And now I'm gonna, when I come to that work, I added back the shoulder press with a bar. It's interesting how close I am in strength on those 2 exercises, but it might be because I have a wider grip, and maybe the range of motion just ends up shorter when it's so yeah, it makes sense if you think of it that way. But I would at first I was surprised, but I guess that's the explanation. Wider grip, shorter motion in and of itself for that, because you understand why that happens, right? It's like a squat, if you would, or the sumo deadlifts, a shorter range of motion than just conventional deadlifts. Same thing going on there. But yeah, double drop set I did on that one too. Okay, so on Wednesday, yeah, the main thing from the pool workout that I reported on my chin-ups, I've kept kind of just progressing my 5 sets of 5 by just me getting heavier. I've had a 20 kilo weight in the belt all the time, and I had just progressively overloaded my body weight. But now I'm heavy, so heavy that I can't do all 5 sets, 5 reps. So now I back down to 10 kilos in a weight, but I do a dead hang. I am just before I sacrifice maybe this bit of range of motion just to pump out the reps like that. But now, so I'm going to a full stretch and stopping at the bottom, and also I'm not tucking in. I'm not. That will help a little bit. Just racing. I'm never swinging and like. As you will see some people do with the legs, but I might just raise them a bit. But now I'm just keeping my lower body. Yeah, I'm not raising the legs, basically. So, yes. And then we have the other leg workout. So I'm up to 142.5 kilos for 5 sets of 5 on the back squat. To be honest, it's not that heavy. I mean, 140 kilos on your back is always, 140 kilos on your back. But I still, because I see in the video and I saw myself, I'm moving kind of slowly. But it is because I have to be on the back squat more than the front squat. I have to move carefully, so I don't hit the painful position for my left hip. So it's fine for working sets, but I would like to try what I have on a single. But it's just not the time for that because I don't have the explosiveness right now. As long as I can. I'm on a weight that I can control, it's fine. But if I went for a heavy single where you really need that explosiveness, then it's not the right time. So I will wait until I've healed this hip. I do these horrible now. The leg workouts have been the ones that are like the least structured because of the left hip. I focus on that main exercise and then just done what I kind of feel is good, works with my left leg. And I'm figuring out more. But so what I have as my secondary exercise on that day is a Smith machine hack squat. So go out with your feet in front of you, so to really, it emulates a hack squat machine, so it's extremely quad dominant. A terrible exercise. I mean, it's great, but the horrible feeling. I dread it so much more than the back squats, and you use so much less weights because you're almost only moving it with your quads. But I've done that with 80 kilos. and I added just the minimum, 2.5 kilos, and did 3 sets of 10. Okay, so that was yesterday. So yeah, the last thing today. So I talked about last week, and I said on my Instagram story too that I'm gonna change the dip where I've just run into problems, and I can't really do any, like, because I already did very deep dips and stuff. I can't really do any form change or anything and back down in weight. So I decided to yeah, well, the dip I'm gonna come to. It's still in the program, but in a different way. I said I was going to do the shoulder press for 5x5, but then it hit me. Speaking of bald only man, I've seen the exercise Larsen press, seen him doing it, and so it's basically a bench press where you completely remove the leg drive. You're just lying with your legs straight out, and the point is to. As a bench presser, I've never really been big time into the bench press, as trying to get high numbers there. But it's, you know, so that you strengthen yourself without the leg drive. So when you move, come back and try it with a leg drive, you will be all that much stronger, you know. But also it, of course, isolates the chest more. Because you're now, not using your lower body in a movement at all. So I tried that. What made me decide to go with that was I heard Alpha Destiny talk about it, that it's good if you have problems with getting your upper body stable on the bench press. It's a good exercise to practice that, because that's all you have, you know, you have no stability from the lower body. And that's actually always been, I felt like I can get the leg drive done. I know a lot of people have problems with that, but I feel like I never really get that good position for the shoulder blades on the flat bench. It's much easier on the incline, you know, because of the incline, it's so easy to just sink down like that, you know. But yeah, I started out at 90 kilos, 5 sets of 5. Wasn't really that heavy, but again, better start a bit too low so there's room to grow into it. And so I put the shoulder press instead as the second exercise. The weight I was going to do for 5 sets of 5, I instead did for 3 sets of 6. 55 kilos. I wish I could do it. You know, you're gonna end up leaning back a little bit on it, but I have a lot of anterior pelvic tilt, and it's. I wish I could do it leaning back just slightly less, but it's not like it's gonna not gonna train my shoulders at all, you know. But I think I'd probably bring in a little bit of upper chest into it. And yeah, I did the same thing, by the way, with incline dumbbells. There I actually lower the weight, but I come, you know, deep down and do it that way. So the dips, I changed them to exercise later in the program, so I'm already pre-fatigued from the things I've done earlier. But I also do the tucked version, so lifting up my legs, and it's surprising how much tougher that kind of dip is than just a regular upright dip. The only thing I can speculate is that you might use some lats when you're close to your body, like upright, and when you tuck in, then you lean forward a bit, so you end up pushing more in front of you, and you just can't use as much lats for that. So yeah. Well, I guess that's it for the training. I'm really happy. It's a lot of fun when you've just been pushing weights and now take a step back with the weights, and they're like, how can I make lighter weights feel heavier, you know? So it's going to be really exciting to see. Now, so my verdict on the Turkesterone is that, you know, it probably doesn't do all that much for me. You know, I can never say it's different for different people. Might be a non-responder, you know, but to me, it's like, I can't say, it's of course not made anything worse, but the progress I've made, nothing sticks out big time. You know, it's been the incline press, but historically too, I know for me, the exercises that get affected the most by just body weight are squats and bench press. Always been the biggest difference there. Like even when it's fat, you know, we're talking about. So, you know, when I gain more weight than I have in a lot of time, that might have just helped the progress too, you know. But so I would say, if the Turkesterone has any effect, it's so small that I can't really tell. And yeah, you know, these videos are, again, as I've said, it's mainly a way for me to talk about my training, report how that's going. But as I'm taking Turkesterone, it's a trendy thing. You know, I just put that label on it. But I don't think. But yeah, what I'm gonna do, because I have the ecdysterone now that I see that I don't think there's such a huge effect with Turkesterone, I'm actually going to stack them both. No point in just waiting. I feel like, yeah, you could make a separate experiment somehow. But now if I'm trying, how do I get the most out of these supplements now that I paid good money for them? Well, probably stacking them, trying them together. So that's what I'm going to do from next week. So yeah, that's it. So please leave a comment if you have any questions about my training or anything. I want to make more videos about training, learning you guys how to train properly too, not just talk about my training, So if you have any questions, please comment, and please like. All comments and likes help support the channel, so I appreciate it very much. And please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement, uncommon sense takes on many different things. My outro is great, isn't it? Okay, guys, have a good weekend. I'll see you later. Peace.